3 years ago, I was sitting in my beat-up Honda at 11:47 p.m., staring at my phone after the worst day of my life. Bank account, $23.50. Relationship over. Job interview earlier that day. We'll call you, which we all know means don't wait by the phone. You know that feeling when you're drowning, but everyone around you is breathing just fine? I was so tired of the bullshit. Tired of vision boards that don't work. Tired of positive thinking while negative reality keeps slapping you in the face. Tired of people who have everything telling you to just believe in yourself. And that's when something weird happened. My phone was at 12% battery. I remember because I was stressed about it dying. But as I sat there, not charging it, just holding it while this wave of pure frustration washed over me, the battery jumped to 28%. No charger, no power bank, just sitting there. Look, I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Same thing I thought. Coincidence, phone glitch, whatever. But if you've ever felt like there's something more going on beneath the surface of things, something you can't quite put your finger on, stick with me. Because what I discovered over the next 6 months changed everything. Not through some mystical awakening or ancient secrets, through actual testable techniques that I'm going to show you today. If you're tired of feeling powerless, if you're ready to try something that actually works, hit that subscribe button. Because in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to prove to you that reality is way more flexible than anyone wants you to believe. The game is rigged. Here's what nobody tells you. While you're struggling with manifestation and wondering why it doesn't work, there are people using actual scientific principles to get exactly what they want. You think it's coincidence that when you walk into a casino, you suddenly feel different? That grocery stores play specific music that makes you buy shit you don't need? That your phone, the device you touch 2,600 times a day, somehow always seems to drain your mental energy? They're not trying to hide some grand conspiracy. They're just using principles that work while selling you techniques that don't. After my phone battery incident, I started paying attention. Really paying attention. I noticed that certain emotions made electronics around me act weird. I noticed that when I was in a specific mental state, people responded to me differently, even strangers. The CIA files. So I started digging. Turns out in 1995, the CIA released documents about something called the Gateway Process, government research into consciousness affecting physical reality. Not some conspiracy theory, actual documented research. They studied how human awareness can influence physical systems. Why release this? Because they figured most people would dismiss it as science fiction. They were right. The social media drain. But here's where it gets personal. Ever notice how you feel after scrolling social media for an hour? Drained, scattered, like your brain is full of cotton? That's not just psychological. Your phone emits electromagnetic frequencies that measurably affect your brainwaves. Every notification creates a tiny stress response. Every comparison triggers specific neural patterns. You're not weak for feeling drained by social media. Your nervous system is literally being hijacked by design. The science they don't teach your heart is a broadcast tower. Remember learning that your brain controls everything? That's only half true. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than your brain's. 5,000 times. The Heart Math Institute, real scientists, not New Age gurus, proved your heart's electromagnetic field extends 8 feet beyond your body. It changes based on your emotions and affects everyone around you. You're literally broadcasting your internal state like a radio tower. Most people are just tuned to shitty stations. The observer effect in quantum physics, there's something called the observer effect. When scientists observe particles, the particles literally behave differently. Reality changes based on what's paying attention to it. This isn't philosophy. This is documented, peer-reviewed science. Yet somehow it never makes it into high school physics class. Why? Because if people understood that attention affects reality, a lot of systems designed to capture your attention would lose their power. The frequency prison. Most people operate between 20 to 200 hertz their entire lives. These are survival frequencies, fear, scarcity, just getting by. But human consciousness can access frequencies up to 700 hertz and beyond. The difference between someone who struggles through life and someone who seems to have everything flow to them isn't luck, connections, or even talent. It's frequency, and frequency can be changed. The first proof. The phone test. I'm going to teach you something you can test right now. This isn't theory, it's something you can verify with your own phone. First, check your phone's battery percentage. Write it down. Now put your phone in airplane mode and hold it in your hands. Close your eyes and think about a time when you felt genuinely grateful. Not fake gratitude, real, deep appreciation for something in your life. Feel that emotion in your chest. Let it expand through your whole body. Hold this feeling for exactly 60 seconds while holding your phone. Then check your battery again. Some of you are going to see a change. Not everyone. This isn't magic, but enough of you will notice something that you'll start questioning what else might be possible. The candle exercise: light a candle and sit about 3 feet away. Stare at the flame for 30 seconds, then close your eyes and visualize the flame getting brighter. Don't strain or force it. Just picture it clearly while staying relaxed. Open your eyes and look at the actual flame. Many people notice it appears brighter or flickers differently. When I first tried this, nothing happened. Second time, nothing. Third time, the flame actually got noticeably brighter for about 10 seconds. That's when I knew I wasn't imagining things. The emotional frequency test. For the next 3 days, pay attention to how people respond to you in different emotional states. When you're anxious or frustrated, notice how others react. When you're genuinely calm and confident, notice the difference. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about measurable changes in how your electromagnetic field affects others. You'll start to see patterns that have nothing to do with what you're saying or doing. Why it's been hidden: the attention economy. The entire digital economy runs on capturing and monetizing your attention. If people understood they could directly influence their reality through focused consciousness, the attention harvesting business model would collapse. Instagram doesn't just want your time, it wants your life force energy. Every scroll generates a micro hit of dopamine, followed by a crash. Every comparison creates a specific brainwave pattern that makes you more susceptible to advertising. This isn't evil genius conspiracy stuff. It's just business optimization using principles at work. The consumer treadmill fear makes you buy security systems. Inadequacy makes you buy clothes and cars. Loneliness makes you buy entertainment and dating apps. Anxiety makes you buy solutions to problems you didn't know you had. If people understood they could directly influence how they feel and what opportunities come their way, the entire consumer economy would shift overnight. The educational gap from kindergarten through college, you learn that consciousness is just brain chemistry, that success requires struggle, that you're essentially a biological robot responding to external stimuli. Voice becomes more thoughtful. This isn't necessarily intentional programming. It's just that the people creating educational curricula don't know these principles themselves. They're teaching based on outdated models of how reality works. The breakthrough technique. The 90-second reality shift. This is the technique that changed my financial situation from broke to my first $10,000 month within 4 months. I'm not saying it was just this technique. I also took action, but this created the foundation. Pick one specific area where you feel stuck. Not I want to be successful, but I want to make $5,000 a month, or I want to meet someone who actually gets me. Step 1, the current reality check. Write down exactly how you see your situation right now. Be brutally honest. I make $2,800 a month and stress about money constantly. Or, I've been single for 8 months and feel invisible. Step 2, the quantum flip right, the specific reality you want. But here's the key. It has to feel slightly uncomfortable to write. That discomfort is your nervous system recognizing a new possibility. Step 3, the 90-second bridge. This is where most people screw up. Don't just visualize the outcome. Embody the person who already has it. How do they breathe? How do they walk? What does confidence feel like in their body? For 90 seconds, become that person. Not thinking about becoming them, actually being them. Your heart is now broadcasting this frequency. The proof timeline. Do this every morning for 30 days. Not when you remember, every single day. In my case, by day 12, I got an unexpected freelance offer. By day 23, someone I hadn't talked to in months reached out with an opportunity. By day 31, I had my first $3,500 week. I'm not saying this will work exactly the same for you, but something will shift. You'll start noticing coincidences that line up with what you've been embodying. The Advanced Applications Energy Field Expansion. Your electromagnetic field normally extends about 6 inches from your body when you're in survival mode, but you can consciously expand it to 10 feet or more. Right now, imagine your energy field as a bubble around your body. Feel it extending 3 feet, 6 feet, 10 feet from your skin. Notice how your breathing changes, how your posture shifts. This expanded state affects how people respond to you before you even speak. The money frequency shift. Rich people don't obsess over money the way broke people do. They don't feel desperate about it or worship it. They operate from a frequency of value creation and abundance. For me, the shift happened when I stopped focusing on what I wanted to receive and started obsessing over how much value I could provide. The excitement of helping people, solving problems, creating something useful. Within 2 months, my income doubled. Not because I worked twice as hard, but because I was operating from a different frequency. Relationship reality shifting. Every relationship exists in a shared electromagnetic field. When you shift your frequency, the dynamic has to change. It's physics, not psychology. I used to attract people who were emotionally unavailable, who took more than they gave. I thought it was bad luck or poor judgment. Then I realized I was broadcasting insecurity and neediness. The moment I started expanding my energy field and operating from genuine confidence, those relationships naturally dissolved. New people appeared who matched my new frequency. Secure, giving, energizing people. The daily practice that changes everything. The morning protocol. Every morning, before checking your phone, spend 5 minutes setting your frequency. Don't think about the person you want to become. Feel like you already are that person. Confident, creative, abundant, calm, whatever qualities you want to embody. Feel them in your body, not just your thoughts. This programs your electromagnetic field for the day. The protection practice. Once you start operating at higher frequencies, you'll notice how much external stuff tries to pull you back down. News, social media, negative people, they can disrupt your field if you're not protected. Visualize a sphere of light around your entire body. You're not just imagining this. You're organizing your electromagnetic field into a coherent pattern that maintains your chosen frequency. The evening reset before sleep, do a quick energy audit. What drained you today? What energized you? Adjust tomorrow's schedule based on this information. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Protect it like you would protect your money or your health. The results and the responsibility. What actually happened to me 6 months after starting these practices? Income went from $2,800 per month to $12,000 per month. Met my current partner at a coffee shop, hadn't dated anyone in over a year. Moved out of my studio apartment into a place I actually like, sleep better, stress less, feel more like myself. I'm not claiming this was magic. I also worked harder, made better decisions, and took more risks. But these practices created the internal foundation that made everything else possible. The responsibility. Here's what I need you to understand. Once you start getting results with this stuff, you can never go back to believing you're powerless. Every outcome becomes partially your responsibility. This isn't a burden, it's liberation. But it does mean that blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck becomes a lot harder to justify. The warning. Some of you are going to try these techniques and see results quickly. Others will take longer. A few might not see anything at all. This isn't a universal solution, and anyone who tells you it is lying. But for those of you who do start seeing changes, remember, use this responsibly. Help others when you can. Don't manipulate people, and stay grounded in reality. Your next 30 days. The challenge for the next 30 days, I challenge you to do this. Week 1, practice the 90-second reality shift every morning. Document what you notice. Week 2, add the energy field expansion exercise. Pay attention to how people respond to you differently. Week 3, start the morning frequency setting routine. Notice what opportunities begin appearing. Week 4, combine all techniques and track the cumulative effects. The community. If you're actually going to try this, not just think about trying it, but actually commit to 30 days. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with 30-day challenge. Let's see how many of us are serious about this. I'll be checking the comments and responding to people who are actually doing the work. The proof, don't take my word for any of this. Test it yourself. Document your experiences. Compare notes with others who are trying it. Voice becomes more encouraging. The best part about these techniques is that they're self-validating. If they work, you'll know. If they don't, you'll know that too. The real truth. What I actually believe, I don't know if consciousness creates reality, or if we're just biological machines running complex software. I don't know if electromagnetic fields can really influence physical events, or if it's all confirmation bias and coincidence. What I do know is that these practices changed my life in measurable ways. They help me take better action, make better decisions, and show up differently in the world. Maybe it's quantum physics. Maybe it's advanced psychology. Maybe it's just a really effective way to organize your thoughts and emotions. It doesn't matter why it works. What matters is whether it works for you. The real challenge. You're at a choice point right now. You can close this video, go back to scrolling, and continue with the same patterns that brought you here. Or you can spend the next 30 days testing something that might actually change things. The techniques are simple. The commitment is what's hard. The only way to know if this is real is to find out for yourself. Until next time, remember, reality might be more flexible than you think, but there is only one way to find out.